Humanity has a PhD in victimization, and the way I see it, and we love to give our power away as a collective. We give the power away by pointing the finger outside to blaming who is wrong, who is right, but as well who is gonna save us. And that's lazy from my perspective. But yeah, we have been taught to be lazy. We have not been taught how to work for our merit, to carry the wood and chop the wood and carry the water for ourselves. And remembering that there was no one to forgive, there was no one to blame. It was you versus you. The world works as a magnifying glass, a mirror of what happens internally. But you cannot rush your healing. You cannot rush your healing. You cannot bypass the challenges, and you cannot bypass the shadows. And the shadows has a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gift that gives us the freedom. But for radical healing, only can happen with.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Awareness Club podcast. In the episode today, my guest was having a rich experience of life, starting in the early childhood, being next to his grandmother who was doing cleansing sessions, then having out-of-body experience, having a suicidal attempt, going into psychology, having an experience of psychiatric hospitals, and now encouraging people to take ownership and power in their own lives, responsibility, and discover their own self. I'm having today with me, Ācatl Rodrigo.
Hi, hola. Thank you so much for having me here.
It's a great pleasure to have you, and you are a very special guest because you were seeing both sides of the spectrum. On one side, the psychology, the psychiatric level, and the experience of people that are in these institutions, and on the other side, plant medicine, evolution, and finding the own self. As you say, taking responsibility.
Yes, I have been navigating in both worlds since an early child, being very active, psychic in a way, and as well like the studies in the mental health institutions and the protocols there. Yeah.
What was the environment in which you were born, regarding to your family, to your environment?
Are we going deep? So the environment that I grew up, I'm a single, only child, single mother, father not very present, if not mostly absent. I grew up with the company of my aunts, my mom's sisters, and some cousins. My grandfathers, my grandmother died, died when I was 5 years old.
So, since you were a kid, you were around rituals, and you were saying with your grandmother, cleansing.
Yeah, I mean, she had certain abilities and gifts, and she worked with plants, herbs, and I will see when people come, and she will do some killings or cleansings with herbs. I was not really participating in them. I was just observing how people flow through to her and came to her. And yeah, I was pretty curious about that.
And it's very interesting that cleansing today, it's a very important thing in your life, and you consider that its beneficial aspect on the body is very important.
Yeah, cleansing the body energetically, cleansing our thoughts, cleansing our body physically, cleansing our wardrobe, cleansing our belief systems. Yes, I am very fascinated about that and supporting people in doing that for sure.
Let's take it systematically. let's go with the physical cleansing. How do you do it, and how do you encourage others to do?
Okay, well, the first thing that I will try to encourage people to do when they come to me, people comes with all kinds of situations, challenges, problems, or illnesses. But I always try to start from now, the body, working with the body, because the body is is the antenna, is our antenna. Before trying to having any transcendental, spiritual, psycho-emotional experiences or insights, we first have to focus on the body. The body, we start from the body, to start making sure that the changes and the transformation is going to happen efficiently. Because if we're trying to, let's put it like this, like we want to run with a engine of Lamborghini, let's say, but then our body is running in a Volkswagen Beetle, it's not going to be possible to have that level, that depth or transformation or changes in our life. So working with the body is very important for me, and working with cleansing parasites, heavy metals, toxins.
With what procedure?
Well, I have learned many protocols through I began to be plant-based, vegan, when I was 11 years old as well. I got very in touch with the food that I was consuming, with the preparation of my food. I'm a vegan chef, also one of my skills, hidden skills. But I was very in touch with this part of nutrition with myself. And the cleansings, the protocol starting happening when I was 18, normally when I was doing some vipassanas, where you have like a restricted diet, for example. Then later, when I went to Peru, when I started going to Peru and doing dietas, plant medicine dietas with the Shipibo Conero Nation, they work with a lot of plants and herbs and remedies of trees, of bushes, of leaves and plants. Not only the medicine of ayahuasca, but the science of the dieta is like having very, very restricted food. So sometimes even just a baked potato to the whole dieta is your daily meal. And then you commune with these plants. And a lot of these plants have many properties, antiparasitic, antibacterial, antifungi, but also gives you more than that. So I started very, very curious about these herbal remedies, the protocols, and I have some different protocols myself, even to the point that I have created and developed my own protocol, where I support people to give them this package, right? So they can start making. The idea of the protocol is to cleanse and to purify your body and so you can be really connected to your body.
And it's not only what we have received and know from the elders that fasting is a good thing, and it is also present in most of our religions around the world, periods of fasting. But it's also proven, and process of autophagia, when the body is eating the cells that are not functioning well or that are having anomaly, and restructuring then on clean, as you are saying. But I know that you're having during your life very intense fasting periods, also in desert and also in other places where you're combining fasting with spiritual practices.
I mean, yes, you said like fasting has been an ancestral, very ancient practice that has been used in many, many traditions. The concept as well is very simple. Autophagia, you talk about it like rebuilding, restructuring your body in a cellular level, let's say. Only can happen when the body is in stillness with no stimulation, right? I put this analogy like if you leave the Mother Earth If you let nature live by itself, what is going to happen? It's going to rebuild, it's going to heal itself, it's going to thrive back again. So our body is earth. We are not separate from Mother Earth. We're not separate from nature. We are nature itself. So when we leave the body still with no intake of food, our body also naturally, the structure rebuilds itself and comes back to like the autophagy part, right? So based on that, there are many traditions that have been using it as well, because it enhances. It's not only just fast because fasting or like without intention as well. Normally it's always done with a prayer or an intention or guidance, okay, like what you want to transcend, what you want to shift in your life. Why are you calling in? Why you're making space for something new, something that you want to call in. But also new ways of being with yourself. What are you offering? This part of offering ourselves, offering our hunger, offering our comfort, offering our pain, let's say, where the discomfort. It's a practice that among many traditions is like if you give yourself it in a way of a payment to receive something that you is going to help you, support you through your path, to make you stronger, to make you more resilient, to make you more, to endure more the challenges of life, or be able to see a bigger and a wider perspective in what is happening in your life, to have more awareness or connection to self, etc., etc. So,
And also this is a sort of a discipline that helps in life. Once you are able to manage your hunger, your desperation towards even for liquids, as you were saying, that is a discipline and calms the mind. And also you can use that skill also in, for example, the reactions towards different problems or toward adversity that you are encountering in life.
yeah, as I have a teacher that is very funny as well in his teachings. But I mean, I want to bring it, and I don't want to be meant to be rude. But for example, it's like those people that are really like in the pressure and anxiety are because they are too comfortable. They don't have anything to be grateful for. Once that you cut your food, you go to the mountain, and you go there. You not like you don't have anything. You don't even have toilet paper. And then you stay there 4 days. Then you're gonna start being grateful for things. Then you're gonna start seeing how can you appreciate things in life, the little things in life. Having toilet paper, having a blanket, having a bed. Like all those people with like, yeah, I mean, depression is a symptom. It's a symptom of something bigger. It's not a disease. I'm not saying that. I don't see illness as a disease. I see them as a symptom. But it's because people now is very comfortable. It's very disconnected from their bodies. They're very disconnected from nature. They're very disconnected to what is essential in life. We have too many commodities. We are too comfortable. And things are quick. We are fast. Even in healing, people want to do healing fast. I'm going to take one ceremony of medicine and that's going to heal my life. No. I mean, it took you several years to get yourself sick. So you have to be constant, and you have to have the patience and the devotion as well to commit yourself to a radical change that you want to see in yourself. So yeah, I mean, for sure, right, taking yourself back to the basics is going to shift a lot in your perception, how you receive the world, how you interact with the world, how your processes change, how you start seeing the opportunity and the grace and the meaning behind all why you got sick, like the meaning and the understanding that part.
To understand actually what life is offering you, even though it's not something pleasant or comfortable, but it has a purpose in our own evolution. And this is how we are getting life lessons and tests and so on.
When we offer our own comfort, our physical, mental, and emotional comfort in service for something bigger than ourselves, we transcend what is the illusion of our mind, our body, and our emotions, and our spirit gets stronger. The whole point of here is to make they bring a strength in the spiritual experience in the material life, empowerment in the spiritual, empowerment of the spirit into the matter.
For the people that are saying that the spiritual world is interesting, but is not really relatable to the experience of real life, of real concrete problems about how do I gain my life, how to navigate through life, how to earn my existence. Okay, I see these people that are doing all these meditations and the yogas and the retreats that you are saying, but how does that impact really my life?
The intricate relation is the separation. We need, of the experience. If we live separated, or if we live in connection with our whole being. We are not just physical beings. We are not just mental beings. We are physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. We have different bodies. For those that wish to see beyond that matter, of this matter, we are something much more. We have a multidimensional experiences through our thoughts, our emotions, through how we think and how we speak. So it's all connected. The ego likes to think think itself as disconnected, or as an individual thing that is navigating the world, and it feels the separation, doesn't see the connection with that, doesn't see the relation and the impact of the actions and the ways of perception. That has led to a very sick world, that has led us into this only the material stuff is important, or only having fun is important, or only the pleasure of the being the hedonistic part of life. It's all about the pleasure, and then running away from the comfort, for example. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is a choice, right? So what all these spiritual practices and being in touch more with our spiritual experience gives us the perspective of how we are all connected. Gives a compassion to one another as well. It makes us see how we are extensions of one another. We are in fundamental basis, we are one. What I do to you is what I do to myself. What I think about others is what I think about myself. How I celebrate you is, or not celebrate you, is how I celebrate myself or not celebrate myself. So it all goes back to me, and it all goes back to ourselves. And everybody that denies that part has a very challenging experience, because they don't really know how to connect with people, or how to empathize with situations, or having those radical, brutal, honest conversations with ourselves. Because everything has a mask and everything has a shadow, from this transpersonal psychology aspect and fundamental aspect of the Toltecs as well, that they're using these principles as well. This knowledge has been there for many ancient times, that we all carry a mask. Behind the mask is a shadow. And so it goes back to fundamental questions of who I am, and what I'm doing here. Is just that I just have this physical experience, where I came here to make a change, to transform myself or improve myself. We are carrying 7 generations behind of us, according to many traditions and psychology as well. We're carrying 7 generations, and there's themes, there are struggles, there are challenges, there are unresolved things. We are repeating them, and we are responsible for the next 7 generations.
And we see this even in psychology, and for example in recall healing, where we are taking and reproducing the traumas or the things that our parents or grandparents are facing in their life, and we are manifesting again in order to dissolve and this is the whole discussion of transgenerational. And to be honest, now is the first time when, for example, in Europe, at least because we are having different parts of the world that are more spiritual, but here in Europe where it's an opportunity where people are starting to work on this. When was the first moment in your life when you started looking inside and questioning who you are?
I've always been a very curious child, but definitely the moment that I started doing important questions when I was 11 years old and I tried to commit suicide through a depression that was catalyzed. I mean, a lot of sensitive, sentient beings or people that are early awakened had a very early experiences in their lives. So I had many experiences in my life that I had remembrance of a reality, a dimension, a memory, sense of longing from somewhere, and then I couldn't see this reflection in their world. I could not understand humanity as well. I could not understand their behaviors, why people do this, why are we doing that, why is this called, what was this called, like what are we doing, why are they conditioning us for? So I just wanted to go back home. Mm-hmm.
And how did you had this vision of this understanding?
I'm a single, only child, so I will have a lot of time to spend with myself. I will go into the closets of my home and I will be there for 10, 15 hours in darkness. And in that darkness, I will meditate. And in that processes, I will have memories and flashbacks of sensations, of images, of things. I will go into my bed and I will do sound for around 3-4 hours constantly. That will activate. Now I know that through sound you activate your pineal gland. So I was activating my pineal gland and having these visual fractalized experiences, and then these sounds, these memories coming forward. I will wake up in the middle of the night. I will think that it was a dream, for example. I will wake up in the middle of the night thinking that it's a dream. I will stand up without my body. I will see my physical body laying down on the bed. I will see myself on the base of my bed. I will look at a specific star in the sky, and I will know that I will belong to that star. But I didn't know what happened, why I didn't remember what happened to this memory, why I'm this, what is this body, what is reality, why I'm here, why I'm not there. So I started having very, very vivid experiences like that, where that will give me a glimpse of that this is not just, this world is not just what we have, right? So, and then when I started becoming in puberty, adolescence, I started, like grieving and having this depression that was a catalysis. And I don't regret at all to have that for going through that experience. I tried to commit suicide because I wanted to go back home. Like I will say it like that. I just want to go back home. I miss home. And then in that revelation, after coming back from the other world, I came back with an understanding that I came here by choice. And my task, it was learning how to understand my own suffering, understand why I was suffering, and understanding the roots and the root of the separateness that I felt from being from home, let's say like that. So from there, I started a quest of making myself important questions, and through the support of thanks to my mom that she never put me into psychiatric treatments, or I didn't took these drugs because that would have another result, no, and I wouldn't be here. But the way I told her that how I came back from the afterlife, and I told her like I will heal myself.
It is absolutely amazing to have the opportunity to live these experiences as a kid, because also when we are kid we are more in contact.
For sure.
and we are more open, and everything is more open. And to have this experience from that age, it sparkles creativity, it sparkles the communion with your own self, even though you are having the hard moment when you are feeling that the belonging is more to the other side than the belonging to this world, which can make a discrepancy and to push you to go to the other side. But seems that it was something in you stronger, that is, it was saying that you need to stay here and you need to fulfill what you have to fulfill here.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely live in a paradoxical world. In order to remember, we need to have the absence of it. And when I tell my story to my clients or friends, or like, and like, well, like you went through a lot, and like, and express, for example, my relationship with my father, like, I wouldn't be more grateful for the relationship that we chose and the dynamic that we chose in this lifetime, because thanks to his absence, I was able to connect with higher spirit, with God, if you want to call it, with the universe, no, like, because our Father gives us that connection, and the role of our Father in this life is to bring that godly love, and the Mother, like this Mother Earth love, that unconditional love as well. But both are very important to know which. But it's either in the presence of the absence. Anyway, that the child has to go through their own wounds, right?
How it was the forgiveness and your own process with your father?
There was very beautiful process, because I mean, through his absence, I experienced anger. I had resentment. I was like angry to the system, angry to the authorities, angry to the school, everything that would represent like a structure. Or I was a rebellious one, you know, like, and what we, but also the virtues of having this the rebellious nature as well, to question yourself, to question the what is established. The dogma, the culture, the society, everything, and I think it's a great virtue to ask ourselves and question ourselves, even our own selves. But yeah, that led me to have several fights with myself at the end of the day. I mean, I will put it outside, but like, it's all, I was fighting with myself. I was angry with myself, because through him I learned how to reject myself and to abandon myself. So coming back to understanding that, how to not to love, not to reject myself, not to forgive myself, to start loving myself, to start accepting myself. And yeah, one day after, in one ceremony, important ceremony in my life, with Hikori Tito, like, the fire basically I was conversating with the fire. The fire has this element, and there's communication with us, and I was conversating with the fire, and the fire took away the anger that I had. And he told me, like, now I'm gonna teach you about how to be in your masculine, and I'm gonna teach you how to be a nurturing masculine. But first you need to contact with your dad. So it was 20 years after I didn't have talked to him, and I pick up the phone and I call him, and I was just wanted to, like, express that I wanted to meet him, to meet this man that I have became. I want to know this man that gave me life, and yeah, then from there we met, and for me everything was understood. Forgiveness is always given. It was more about forgiving myself. It was never about forgiving his abandonment or forgiving his rejection. It was more forgiving myself, or allow myself to judge him. Forgiveness it's a very amazing process, but it's always about it always takes us back to forgive ourselves. And how I give my clients this, and the people that they're teaching, if you really want to be free, you need to be in peace with your mother and your father. If you still have some resentment, judgment towards them, then you're not fully free, and you're not going to be fully blessed in your life. In order to have like a prosperous, aligned life, the first teachers are your parents, and to set them free from our judgments.
Yes, and this comes back to the point where in different moments in life I was feeling, and I saw with other friends as well, how we are trying to be the parents of our parents, to try to guide them to have a healthier life or to have a more spiritual life, or and that is not possible.
No.
No. And also I would like to ask you, what did you felt after you made peace with your father? What was the change in your life? What unblocked?
Unlock many things. I mean, the father most of the time. So it's not like, yeah, it's a pretty masculine energy. So unlock a lot of structure, a lot of direction, a lot of clarity, a lot of presence for myself, a presence for what I'm doing, the responsibility that I carry for when it comes to working with other people, and my role as a curandero, as a guide. Being in this presence of direction and structure.
The father aspect, it's the holding, because the father, it's holding the family, it's guiding the family. So this is on a spiritual level, this is also something that you are doing in your practicing, to be able to hold better the people, or to hold better a ritual, no?
The spiritual realization is to be unique from that perspective, and is that you are unique. You're premier. You're not gonna be repeated. Like understanding that, taking yourself out of the different molds and the different process of the copy paste. We live in a copy paste society, so like not repeating, living on fully. And for that, it has to be with the union of our polarities. We live in a polarity, in a polar contrast universe, and within us is like our masculine and our feminine. And when we heal our parents, we are bringing union into these polarities. The aspect of the mother will bring aspects and virtues of prosperity, abundance, health, and love in general. The virtue of healing the father will be like the structure, the direction, the security that you can put. Both holds the love. Holding from a mother is different from holding from the father. But this will give you the balancing your polarities will bring you into union with yourselves. And that union will bring you into authenticity. It's not about what society tells us what to be, or how we should be. If we are men, we should be like that. If we're woman, we should be like that. Because everybody has a unique template, a unique, and it's not like the masculine and feminine qualities are always merging, always dancing within us. It's not like we have to be the one-sided brain. This is like creating a lot of paradigm of separation and expectations that we keep repeating in our children, in our partners, in our fathers, and yeah, understanding that everybody has a free will to choose. Everybody is choosing from their free will. So respecting and honoring and even celebrating the free will of each soul, even if it's our parents, if they don't feed themselves the way we like themselves to feed, or they are not doing the things that we want them to do, or our children, everybody's choosing, and letting that free will of the soul, it will open space for magic and for the miracle. But as long as we keep perpetuating the judgment, and we keep put people in little cages and prisons of our own expectations, then the world will keep repeating prisons and punishing and guilt and shame and rebuilding all that.
Following your intuition and moving through life by attracting what you need to experience at that certain moment.
Yeah.
Now, because you were saying about the ritual in which you discovered how to heal the problem with your father, let's speak about different type of plant medicine.
Yeah.
and how do you associate and how do you see them for different purposes? One more for treating the soul, more for treating the mind. Give me your perspective about plant medicine.
Yeah, I mean, plant medicine has many variants. I have started studying and practicing with the plants since I was 11. After that, the episode of the suicide, a lot of a gate of the shamanic practices, psychology and mystic rituals, and yeah, I mean, just healing rituals of medicine plants have. There's plants for cleansing the body energetically. There's cleansings for the mind, the body physically. The master plants that we call the master plants, las plantas maestras, they have been worked in many ancient traditions, in many First Nations. We call them First Nations, the indigenous people, but they have kept and guarded this knowledge and sciences, and the science of use them to support people's journey, to support the healing. It does implicate a lot of studies. It does implicate a lot of studies in these practices, because indeed it's our science. There's structures, there's timings, there's what to mix, what not to mix, for example, and yeah, the different qualities varies. We have the popularized ayahuasca, for example, Gufalvarius, peyote, mushrooms, different strands of mushrooms, psychedelic and non-psychedelic as well, and adaptogens, which now in the science we call entheogens. Entheogens are entheogenic plants that are these plants that gives us mystical experiences through their molecules. So every molecule, every medicine has a spirit. Every spirit has a characteristic, a virtue, even an essence. Yeah, a way to work with us.
I think in the last 20 years and even more, it was an increased desire for experiencing either ayahuasca, either magic mushrooms, psilocybin, either peyote, and became more mainstream, and people are going either for the experience or because it was becoming trendy, and they were going to the jungle and they discovered this shaman, and it's this misunderstanding and running for the visuals, running for the in-moment experience, but not necessarily looking deeper of what you are saying, what is the specific of that entity that is governing the plant. So let's go one by one. Let's take, for example, in a short, brief description, what is, for example, ayahuasca associated with?
Okay, first, to understand the qualities preferred, it's not just the plant as well. It's for example, when I started taking psychedelics, when I was 13 years old, and I was doing it in certain settings that will not be the most ideal, but it was fun. No, it was recreational. But once that I tried the psychedelics in a proper contained setting, I don't know, like I will see the difference, how the plant will work, and so there's a lot of things: the certain setting, the plant itself, the certain setting, and the facilitator who is giving you it's a lot of influence there. So before going into that, there's things how would you ideally, or would you want it to do experiment and to know before, because it's not always the medicine. Sometimes the medicine is 50 and the facilitator is another 50, and the setting is very important as well. So plant medicine, okay, so ayahuasca will kind of is called the grandmother. It's a feminine essence, they will say. because it's a medicine that takes us inwards. Normally, the ceremonies are performed at night, depending on the traditions. With most of the traditions is at darkness, so we can see in our own light. It's a going inwards process. It's a mix of two plants. Chacruna and ayahuasca is a union of those two that gives this medicine, that gives a visionary experience. The molecule is NN-DMT, and this it has a very visionary effect that connects us with the hidden aspects of ourselves, or more elevated and higher consciousness. It still teaches in duality. It's this snake that the snake as well in the symbolism, metaphorical and mythological aspect, or alchemical symbol as well, is a feminine and masculine animal. It's not just purely feminine, but it's a phallic animal too, but it's in the ground. So it's part of like this going inwards, connecting with yourself, and going with touching with a very fundamental essence, part of yourself, and shedding skins, and the purging might come. There's a purging, the cura, the limpia, that you will release from one end and from two ends, depending on the themes as well. They said that what is in the purge of the mouth is the things that you quiet yourself on, all the things that you didn't express, and what you release from the other side is all the things that you're attached to, and all these parts of the attachment that you're holding on to. Depending different journeys as well. It could be visionary snake, it could be jaguar, it could be eagle, for example.
Now let's go to mushrooms.
The mushroom kingdom, the psilocybin, it's another form of DMT as well. It's normally in the tradition of the Nahuas and the Mexico, and they call it the Holy Children, the Niños Santos. And it's a very, from my perspective, it's a very playful and serious at the same time, but mostly playful as well. Like it teaches how everything is interconnected, how the simplicity of things as well, the simplicity of thought processes that sometimes we're caught with the perceptions, and takes and for me as well, like it teaches me not to take our emotions too seriously. Gives us perspective, and this interconnectedness that we all are connected to, this thread that we are all part of it, and this higher consciousness, and this minuscule of ourselves, and in contrast and comparison with what is that, what is all that is. So yeah, for me, yeah, that's the mushroom, the mycelium kingdom.
Then the peyote.
The cactus, the peyote, the grandfather. This is a medicine that grows in Mexico, in the central east desert. It's called the grandfather. The molecule is mescaline. It's alkaloid. So this medicine has been used by the Toltec nations for many years. It's a medicine that is called the grandfather. The grandfather. This elder teaches through the heart. They say it's a heart opening, very grounding, and yet very ancestral. It's a very I would say like it's like sitting with your with like like this stereotypical part of the grandfather, that is like everything's chill around the grandpa, and like there's no problems, like it's just like joy and laughter, and sharing. I mean, normally it's in design of the ceremonies is in front of the fire through the night as well, guarding the light of the fire through the night, and sharing prayers, sharing intentions. It's a whole architecture and designed where the whole movement of with the medicine is. But yeah, sometimes it's going walking with the desert in a mission quest with the desert, and but yeah, it's a deer as well as the element or symbol of the deer, the animal deer. The deer is like this balanced. It's a masculine animal as well that is in balance. It's like harness the power of spirit, the strength of spirit in balance. To be still, to be present, and the beauty of it, and the beauty of the order.
Kambo.
Kambo, well, that's not a plant medicine, but it's an animal medicine. It's a medicine that supports our physical, energetic, emotional bodies. Mostly physical experience, that you will cleanse. It will cleanse you, your lymphatic, endocrine, limbic systems, all glands, articulations, organs are gonna be squeezed. You're gonna release toxins that had been stored there. The toxins are produced or for diet of toxic diets and toxic behaviors, toxic thoughts and emotions that we didn't process, and then everything gets stored in the body. So what we not process, it gets stored, and then the body and the organs are holding it, resenting it, and like they create illness and disease. So the Kambo is a very powerful medicine that helps us flush that is stuck, toxins that have been there, physical blockages, residues of any bad stuff that should not be in our body. It gives us strength, it gives us clarity. It's an experience that is very short, around 20 minutes of process, that you feel that you're poisoned, literally, but it's not that you're gonna die, or, I mean, it's not as bad as people think. And then the medicine scans you. It's a smart technology that scans your body, goes through all your body organs, and it's like this, and it releases parts of where it needs more attention, or it is like to give priority to that part, and then you can go even deeper. And yeah, it is amazing. It has anti-aging effects. It has the antimicrobial, antiviral, antifungi, anti-inflammatory, powerful anti-inflammatory peptides. And now that right now is like very popular, the peptides, no, the peptides therapy. But yeah, it's a 250 more plus cocktail of peptides that you're doing. You're merging your DNA with this frog that in the nature it doesn't have any predators. The frog is so chill that is unbothered by anyone, because like, so you're like you're impregnating, you're merging your DNA with that unbotheredness of like, don't worry about like everything is disorder, like, and yeah, it gives you that physical experience through like, okay, to create this endurance and resilience in life.
Bufo.
Bufo is known as the most potent entheogen in the world, the most potent psychedelic in the world. Molecule is 5-MeO-DMT. It comes from the glands of another amphibian, in this case a toad that lives in Mexico, desert of Mexico, and border with the US. The glands creates this bufotein that once that is alchemized with the fire, it transforms in 5-MeO-DMT, and this 5-MeO-DMT is the most potent psychedelic. It transcends the illusions of separation. It goes back to your soul, the core of your soul, With, for example, it's another form of DMT than ayahuasca, but then both different works differently. One teaches us through the contrast and the duality, and the Bufo teaches us from unity consciousness. It is, in my perspective, as a psychotherapist, psychologist, and curandero, I see how like it dissolves the illusions of separation from the wounds that people carry. They are created these core beliefs, and these beliefs are stemming other belief systems that are separated, beliefs of separation, that I call the people not feeling worthy, not feeling supported, not feeling valued, not feeling seen, feeling successful, X, Y, or Z. And it dissolves these illusions through unconditional love, really, like through understanding, through this God present of unity consciousness, that you can see everything from an ego perspective. Like the ego sees above and sees above everything, and sees. So it gives you that perspective of how we have given our power away through playing the victims of ourselves, victimizing others, and victimizing ourselves ultimately. It teaches us to it's also a very short experience, but the molecule it's called the God molecule for a reason. So it's very assertive message. It's like, boom, boom, here is what you needed. Take it for you, use it on your. With ayahuasca, for example, he likes to dance. It's more like a dancing and give and take. But with Bufo, it's very direct, like. And yeah, it gives you back your power. Obviously, all these medicines are very useful. They are not magic ones that are gonna heal all your problems. It's how you prepare yourself to these experiences, the seriousness and of the process itself, and as well how you're gonna integrate it and apply the changes in your life, and the part of integration that it's over 2 months process, or even more sometimes.
What it means for you to hold such a ritual and such a process for people?
It's a huge responsibility. It's a beautiful task. It's a beautiful role as well. I love that it's an art. It's a science, but as any art, any science has its time to learn it and to harness it and to bring that. I don't know. From my perspective, I have been studying the science and the arts of holding space for others since I started learning how to hold space for myself when I was 11 years old. Through many psychologists processes, many therapies, and many retreats, even at 11th, and ceremonies. But then studying the degree of psychology, in that degree we have to go through different as well of practices and studies of ethics and how to hold space for people and I know, and I share this because I know that a lot of people have this call or this urge of feeling that they want to share something, or share their gifts, or share their medicines even. What I will say, first is the study of self. In the beginning of the degree of the university, the first year, the most constant phrase that we will get is you cannot do to someone else what you have not gone through yourself. And so in the depths as well, I not only come from one suicidal attempt, I come from two other ones, these 3 suicidal attempts, to my experience that taught me the depth of experience of life, of the suffering of what people really deals with, and it's understanding the depth, and because I'm guiding people into those depths. Depending different the depth of the people, we're able to take them into different places, or depths even. So for me, it was like very important to, it's the fundamental part of my practice that I have. I was always guided. I didn't know what I was doing even. Like if I have a recap of my experience of life, I didn't knew what I was doing. I didn't know that I was going to be doing this. Actually, I was not even doing it for others, really. I didn't study psychology for helping others. I was just studying psychology to helping myself. I didn't start going to the jungle for learning how to serve medicine. I started going to the jungle and going to all these long process of dietas because I wanted to understand myself. Even when I was giving the call, direct call from a couple of mentors, it's like, now you have to take the staff with you and you have to be on service. I was like, no, like I don't even want it. Like I was comfortable doing what my ego think it wanted to do, like what the society or what I thought it was cool. And um it was until I had to, like I lost everything in a way that everything was taken away from me, that I understood that it was time for me to step into giving back what everything I have acquired in my life. So for me, it's very sacred process. It's very important. It's a very sacred. It's a very has a lot of it gives meaning to my life to serve, to serve something bigger than me, to be in service something greater than me. It's very humbling and very gratifying. It also gives me tells me that it's not about me at all anymore, but really how can I make this world or leave this world in a better shape than before.
And now, from a spiritual perspective of the process, how did you connect, or what is your personal approach with having your guides or invoking other type of spirits? What is the unseen part of the process?
Well, that's the difference between being a shaman and being a anti-shaman. I'm not anti-shaman, but I mean, it's like the priests, it's like the church, it's like I don't believe in duality. I transcended that part of like being fighting against spirits and bad things, like the work I do is always from unity consciousness and unconditional love. And yeah, and when you do like when you go into a ceremony and you feel that the holder of the space brings to the space and to the you will see the difference and the person. But I don't really fight with any spirits. I didn't like. I mean, I work with the plants. I work with the medicines. I work with their essences, but from a way that it's supporting unity consciousness. It's dissolving. It's dissolving the aspects of good or bad. Or it's really funny because I mean it's. Some people, for example, think that like exorcisms, no, like, oh, like you have to expel the spirit and fight it and with a sword and shield and get out. No, but no, actually, like these processes are with a hug. The really the whatever it is coming up that is not from love, let's say. It's all about hugging it. It's all about embracing it. It's and that's the process that I've through merging and the polarities and bringing unconditional love to that part. Because as long as we keep playing the roles of duality and playing these games of bad and evil and good and we're gonna keep repeating the same lessons as humanity. We are powerful manifestors and creators from our conscious and unconscious. So the more we bring awareness that we to how to see the world in a more compassionate, loving, accepting way is gonna bring unity and peace within and without.
It came to my mind when you were saying about shaman and not shaman, and I know that this is a word that you like to avoid. But also, even Harvard this year, it's having their theme about psychedelics. It's how the use of psychedelics goes and influences guruism in our society. And I know that you are having a very strong position anti-guruism, which is also our pylon in the Awareness Club.
Yeah, I think everybody should should be in touch with their own the guru within them. And in the Toltec tradition, we see that as a potential Quetzalcoatl within us, which it translates as well in Buddha, when Siddhartha Gautama, Buddha, or aka Buddha. We all potential Buddhas. So yeah, I mean, important to bring this aspect back to ourselves. Yes, important to have mentors. Yes, important to have guides and pillars or staffs and standards that gives you the guidance. But put people in pedestals, it's only a recipe for failure. And really, I mean, we start to putting ourselves down of the pedestal, because as well the self, the ego has put themselves in so much higher pedestals that we need to put them down of the pedestal, put out these images of the gurus down of the pedestal, and see them just as people. And it's I mean, humanity has a PhD in victimization. And the way I see it. And we love to give our power away as a collective. We give the power away by pointing the finger outside to blaming who is wrong, who is right, but as well, who is going to save us. And that's lazy from my perspective. But yeah, we have been taught to be lazy. We have not been taught how to work for our merit, to carry the wood and chop the wood and carry the water for ourselves. So yeah, I feel like the whole spiritual movement has been going through its ups and downs, as everything in life. Great minds, great faces with beautiful messages, with great value as well, have been demonized because they were put in a pedestal. No, I mean, we forget that we're humans as well. I don't want to be in pedestals with people. I always tell my clients and people is like, don't put me in a pedestal. They see me like, because it's dangerous to put things in pedestals, because they only, when we become turn something into ayahuasca, it doesn't want to be name a church or to put an altar for it, like the ayahuasca is the altar, you are the altar, like the temple is your body.
In society, the pedestal that you are saying is the status that somebody has.
Yeah, metaphorically.
Yeah, I reach a certain level and I'm somebody, and that is the attachment to the ego. And how are you defining yourself through it?
Yeah. I mean, when we attach ourselves to an image, to a version of ourselves, we have many different versions of ourselves that we are attached, and we have to detach ourselves from. But yeah, when we talk about these statues, the pedestal, all right, the Osho or like whatever, like a Greek name out there that, I mean, even medicine people has been put there, and even the medicine has been put there. And I think like the medicine is only showing us what we are. Jesus didn't want to be created a church of Christians. He just wanted, the message was, you are everything that it is and will be and never will be, you know, like, so like you can be like me. And people go like, yeah, our savior, you're gonna save us, no, like, so
And I'm the sinner.
and with the tribes as well, I've seen it right now in the movements of people thinking that because it's native people is gonna, it's legit as well, and there's a lot of dark stories with that, and a lot of movements with the feather tribes playing all around, and what are more like performative circles for me, like and rather than really like supporting a culture and really like and yeah, supporting the ancestry of the song. Is more like it has gone through many distortions right now, the spiritual movement, into more like what is performance and what is expected from you and what is the tribes that you should be taking medicine with, and all this is very, very interesting. And I always be a very advocate of like taking my shirts, my shirt, not becoming to any team. I'm Team Heart, and the Team Heart is all around, you know, like, but putting colors, feathers, and like in countries and things like that, and like I even like as a child, I was always very like as like that. And when I was in the elementary school, when they World Cup, I would not understand why people will be such hypnotized and not like with the football and the like all the, why they taking it so serious, like why they are suffering, why they take it like so much. And I was like, you know what, like I'm just gonna go for the other team. So when Mexico was playing and I was like in my classroom in Mexico, everybody was going for Mexico, but I would go for the other team. I would like just to bring balance to the whole super, like to be perspective, no? And people are like, oh, you're such a hater. It's like, no, I'm just like, I just want to bring more flavor to this, you know, like to bring more balance and to like, I don't understand why is the importance of being taken yourself so much serious that I'm gonna put a shirt on.
This is a beautiful example of playfulness and what means to nurture and to make peace with your inner child. And your inner child was passing through a lot of things, but most important, he was close to himself because he was having no others, as you were saying, staying alone in the closet. And this brings me to the playfulness that you are embodying nowadays into creating art. Because art is coming from that playfulness and the liberty to create for the sake of art.
Yeah, the infinite creative potential of that everybody is can only bring forward with playfulness and ease. It cannot bring forward with guilt and shame. Creativity and guilt and judgment cannot coexist in the same place. So I believe that, and I see that everybody is a beautiful piece of master genius, that they have a infinite creative potential within them and their ability to bring a unique version of beauty of art. Because ultimately for me, art is making your life an art piece. Like it can be singing, it can be drawing, it can be chanting, it can be cooking, it can be through the body, through the science, through technology, through IT, I don't know, but it's like it's all the creative processes is playing all around us.
And I know that you like to create and you are also in the art industry. So you are seeing both sides of what the world is picturing as art and what the internal soul is creating and entering into the state of flow.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be part of the art industry and the art. Yeah, I used to want, or I'm like, yeah, from the ego desire that I want to be an artist that is shown in art galleries and their paintings have this value. I was that too. I had that experience and I experimented with that until I realized that also like that's not an illusion because that comes with a lot of false identities and consequences and things that I didn't consent as as a soul. But I had my I was an artist. I in this life as well. I'm still an artist. My art is in the ceremonial fashion, let's say, in the way of the songs and the chantings and the icaros that comes through, and the instruments that I play, and the painting that I still do. But I don't more like I used to be part of that the contemporary art world. Then I had a ceramic factory. I was a vegan chef. I'm a photographer too, a videographer, installations for galleries and and shows and all that. But
And what was the switch when you realized that everything is fake?
oh, well, I quit everything after 6 years of working in psychiatric hospital. Went to London to fulfill my life, fulfill my dream. Chasing your dreams is very important. Your dreams are guides. So like if it was your dream, um, follow it and go through it, experiment with it. So yeah, I went to London to experience myself as an artist. I would live as their art, with their art. So it went really good because I was able to connect with a lot of people that rapidly positioned me in having opportunities with art shows, collaborative projects, and development and creative creation of events, underground events, even like having producing parties for the London Fashion Week. I have done that before, but not fully on my own or full time. But then I was working illegally and earning money in a foreign country that I didn't have like the papers that to go through that, and then I got caught, and then I got into a prison experience. I went for 4 months into this maximum security prison, and over there I went deep. And from being in the peak of my career that I will see and experience in London
On a pedestal?
on a pedestal. Oh, exactly, because I built up my whole persona, my whole image. It was about my art and the things I do and the events I went and like meeting the people that know me and and going from being someone to totally no one to become a number in the prison, and like not even the staff there would treat you like a human. They treat you like minus zero, like, and yeah, this face fall down, these masks fell down. I became a number, and I really touched base back with who I really am, and I realized that I was following, and I got desired to be validated, to be recognized, to be admired, when I didn't even admire myself or validating myself or hold my own self, like, and I was putting all these masks, and then I realized how fake the whole industry was, because if it's all this a mask and it's all is not real, but then you are pretending to be someone and then selling to people, being in galleries that take, for me, art is very sacred. It's a very sacred process, and like going to this system that the art gallery takes 60% or more from your work, from your sacred work, and then like wanting to sell the art to people that you don't even like, and performing, it was like, this is not what I want anymore, and this is not who I am. And if people cannot see who really I am, and I have to pretend, then I don't want these people either. I don't want this life. I want something real. I want something that honor my sacredness, that can see the sacredness, and not just want to have like a cool piece of drooling doodles in the, like, but something that like has like a meaning and value and depth, and I can see that. So yeah, it was a beautiful stage of my life.
And this comes back to what you were saying earlier, to create an art out of your life.
Yes.
And this comes back to what we are doing on a daily basis, and how do we fundament what we want to become, or the desire to discover who we really are. That it doesn't come, as we were saying previously, in one experience of any of the psychedelics that we were discussing, or any other ritual or ceremony or anything that you do. People are expecting to have the insights in that experience, but the most important is then the embodiment, and then how you take, as you say, responsibility over your life. And I would like to dive deeper with you on this, because this, I think, is the most fruitful part for people, not to expect the fast return, but to understand that it's a long run during our whole life, because it decides who we are becoming.
Yeah, I mean the process of homecoming, of becoming who you really are, is the hero journey. Really, it starts and ends with yourself. But it's not gonna happen from one night to another. If it takes so much time to forget about who we really are, it will take a little bit of the same, or even if you really focus and devote it, maybe a little bit earlier, right? So, but you cannot rush your healing. You cannot rush your healing. You cannot bypass the challenges, and you cannot bypass the shadows. And the shadows has a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gift that gives us the freedom. But for radical healing, only can happen with radical responsibility, owning every single part of ourselves, every single part of who we chose, because we came here by choice. Nothing was by just by luck. Right now, we are, as humanity, we are living everything to luck, and that's a pretty dangerous thing that we're doing. Because once that we come back to our power and we acknowledge that we came to this life by choice, we chose our parents by choice, we chose the country that we live in by choice, we did all these decisions, we took all these decisions because we chose them. We chose how to dress, we chose how to embody, we chose how to, with which friends we had, the relationships we had. So we chose all of it. So bringing into this part of responsibility to take care of those parts, and welcoming them instead of judging them, or looking instead of trying to point a finger outside, pointing back to you and say, okay, how can I show up for myself? How can I show up for these resentments, regrets, or judgments, and yeah, all this guilt that I have. Where is it going? It's like when the thing is not about what happens on the outside. That, like, it's about how to have accountability to ourselves. We don't need anyone to come and tell us, hey, I'm sorry for this that happened to you, or I did to you, to be accountable for ourselves. Being radical, fully brutal, honest with ourselves, and having those difficult conversations in which we have been attached and even addicted to certain behaviors because they have served the ego for some reason. They have been there for some reason, and the only way to letting them go is to understand them, why they were there in the first place. Cleaning the dirty dishes of ourselves, and not expecting the other because they did us wrong, or they did certain or X, Y, Z, expecting them to come and heal and clean the mess for us, I think, like, we all having a beautiful experience of mirrors. We all mirrors of each other. We came to our life, and the people come to our life to teach us certain things, to transcend certain beliefs, to remember how loved we are, or how we lack of our love. I mean, most of my greatest teachers are the ones that are teaching us through separation, through the lack, through the abandonment, through the rejection, through the all this. those are our greatest teachers. That was and being able to see them and say like, wow, thank you for showing me that I'm still hurt, because after 7 years of age, no one ever hurt you. The wounds, the wounds that you carry happen between 0 and 7 years old. After that, you're just repeating, and someone else touches the wounds that you have. So even your wounds are predecessing you. They are like there always. That is when someone is not touching your wound, you don't punish the messenger. But yeah, you express your gratitude for them for to have shown you that you still have a wound, and the wound might be there and might always be there. But instead of like we shift the way that we react, and we see the situations and the way we express from them, or the way we relate to them. But yeah, it's a whole beautiful process to come back home because once that you come back home, there's no way back. There's no way back. And well, coming back home is really marrying yourself. You stop looking from outside validation, expectations, the conditions, putting that someone else is going to complete you. Like, it's coming back to loving all aspects of yourself. And there's no way back. Once that you're there, you're well served for life. And then you just can enjoy it. You can just take yourself less seriously, less attached to you. How you dare you to treat me like that? You start laughing more about yourself and the way like because it's all about simplicity. I have these 4 questions that normally I share with in the guidance, but it's like the first question is who I am, and the second question is who I'm not. To know who I am, I need to know who I'm not. And what I came here to do is the third one. What I came here to do. What you came here to do. Fundamentally.
Fundamentally, is just to manifest the potentiality. I never know. In one moment in my life can be something, and the next day can be something else.
Okay, but if you simplify it.
To live.
And to live is to
experience life itself.
For me, it's like to love.
To love.
Because it's all about loving.
Okay.
So the 4th question is, do I taking it too serious? Because I'm taking it too serious, then I'm not catching the game. I'm not to catch up with the game. The game is supposed to be a game. It's supposed to be take it lightly. Since that was supposed to be so serious.
I remember about this that Rupert Spira was saying in your way towards enlightenment, light up yourself.
Yes, I mean everything is already in balance. The only thing that is unbalanced is our minds thinking that things needs to be in balance, and we need the chaos. We need the chaos because without the chaos, there's no growth, there's no potential, there's no expansion, there's no evolution.
You were speaking about this journey on the general, but in your life story, what was the most difficult to renounce to or to overpass?
I will share 2, because I mean one can come with the other, but the letting go the idea that was something wrong with me. That there was something inherently wrong with me, and that's totally illusion. And the second one was, which led me to that, it was to let go of the need to know, to understand.
Oh, I totally relate to that.
Yeah, because we get into the rabbit hole of we wanted to understand why this is happening, why these things happen, why me, why them, why. And for me, why is the less psychological, the less profound, the less introspective, less spiritual question you can ask yourself, because why will only keep you in a loop of excuses, justifications, explaining yourself. So that will never give you an answer. That will only give you a headache, because it will keep you in a loop. So there's many other questions that you could ask.
Let's hear them. And how to replace this?
Well, it's a science. It's the studies of the phenomena. It's called phenomenology, and it's a beautiful, powerful practice for those that are into the shallow work practices. Let's call alchemical practices. But we don't ask question why. The question why is obvious. It's gonna happen because this will always give you the loop. But learning how to ask questions such as when, where, in what kind of scenarios, at what kind of which times of the day, etc. For example, I'm just gonna put it very concise. Animal Planet. Did you ever watch Animal Planet? Okay. So Animal Planet was doing phenomenology. Phenomenology 101. Animal Planet didn't explain you why the lion ate. Right? Because it's obvious the lion eats because it's hungry and it's to feed the pack. So, but it teaches you through, and it shows you through answering questions such as when does it eat, with what kind of techniques they use, and what they eat, what they hunt, which techniques they use to hunt, etc., etc. So this is phenomenology. So when we talk about our triggers or why things happen to us, it's like, okay, when these people do that, I react like this. What kind of people? It could be a woman or a man, or it's like normally the partners that I have, or it's my parents. That makes me feel like this. What do I feel? At what times do I feel? At what times of the day I have felt that? At what times where in my life I have felt that? And so you start understanding the processes of the phenomena that you go through, and that gives you a whole map to start relating with yourself and your processes and your reactions, and catch yourself before making a whole drama of it, or etc., etc. So yeah.
I know that one of your favorite things is to name that everything is medicine.
Yes, everything is medicine. Everything carries a message. Everything carries a lesson. So medicine is not always it's not. In this paradoxical view, it's like we need the comfort to understand the cure, and it's not in the pleasant things that we understand that we are peace. It's in the challenges too that we know how to bring ourselves back to peace. Because the fun of the game is to get challenged. It's the challenge of it. Life is a challenging process, and that challenge only is gonna be find and with the fun and with the excitement of it. Like, yes, more, give me more to work. But yeah, everything is medicine. Like in our parents are medicine, our reactions are medicine, the poison is medicine. Even the poison is medicine. Like the difference between the medicine and the poison is on the dose.
Mm-hmm.
And it's bringing us back to the center. It's not that it's all love and light, or it's all shadow and darkness. It's being in the center. Our ancestors and ancient civilization knew this. We live in this world of polarity. So if it's too dark, we cannot see. If it's too bright, we are blinded. So it's in the middle that we find the sweetness. The sweet point is in the middle. Is it the sweet point of being uncertain and knowing that you are held, and but not already you did the effort to take yourself out of the comfort zone. So and that gives the meaning to life, because if we were all protected, secured, and having all figured out, it will not be fun. We came to this world that it is what it is to show us through that everything is medicine.
And now, Rodrigo, at this moment in your life, what is the one message that the world needs to hear from you?
Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy in loving. Like everything, all aspects of yourself. All this is not what you. It's not what you show to the world. It's what you hide to yourself. It's not what you project outside. It's how you treat yourself, and it's bringing yourself back to awareness that the love, the compassion that you were always looking outside is within you. And remembering that there was no one to forgive, there was no one to blame. It was you versus you. The world works as a magnifying glass, a mirror of what happens internally. That as long as there's no peace within, there's not gonna be peace outside. The more we bring the awareness into that all the gradients are beautiful, all that, to see how to see the world in a beautiful as it is that everything is beautiful, even the ugliest things has its beauty, and appreciating them, to bring themselves into, instead of judging, appreciating things. Everything is already given. It was just you blocking your own way of receiving what you were meant to give to yourself ultimately. Yeah, we are one, really. And the more we judge, the more we project, the more we blame, the more we point the finger outside, the more separation will keep happening in the world. It's the more we understand, the more we let go, the more we accept and love, learn how to love everything, and it's not a it's not a new teaching. It's been there for a while, and it's we've been caught into the mind and to the who we think we are, and we have forgot what is essential in us. And the really important thing is going back to earth, growing your foods, having clean water, having clean air. The power is in you. And now and more we having forced to be more taking care of what we eat and what we drink, because there's a lot of not so nice things in the products that they sell us. And being aware that how to take care of ourselves by taking care of the environment is a reciprocal relationship. It's directly, the world is the manifestation outside of the world is reflecting how we treat our bodies.
It's a mirror as well.
It's a mirror. Yeah.
Like people, like events, everything is pointing to what we are inside.
Yeah. And like how we're treating the Mother Earth and the planet is exactly the same way that we're doing it. We're changing, modifying it, toxifying it, and we're putting these chemicals and they're putting, yeah. It's getting weirder and weirder, the world, and but as well the keepers, the holders of knowledge, of light, of medicine are waiting as well. There's a new system, a new forms and new ways that are waiting for us to embrace. Yeah. We couldn't make it without you. We have to do it all together.
Thank you so much for this discussion. Thank you so much for your wisdom without putting you on a pedestal.
I want one last message. Forget what you give and always remember to forgive.
Thank you again for everything, and I hope we will collaborate or meet, or we will come back on this chair.
Yes, it will be a pleasure to see you again. Thank you so much for that.
As for the rest of you, I hope you liked today's episode. Share this with a friend that could benefit the information from. We can also continue the discussion in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, do all these things for our community. And until next time, take care of yourself.